Hello my dear students, in this lecture we are going to see GATE 1990 question. The question is very simple. The question is the process of short pinning increase the fatigue life of steel spring mainly because it results in. Now in previous one of the lecture, I have explained that the fatigue life increases or fatigue strength increases if we induce residual compression, at the surface, right? And the methods are number one, cold rolling is a method to induce residual compression. Then after that we have seen short pinning. Short pinning is one of the method of inducing residual compression. Then then we have seen hammer pinning hammer pinning, right? Again we have seen case hardening. This is a method of increasing fatigue strength. Again we have seen burnishing also. This is also one of the method of increasing fatigue strength, right? And for all these processes, your answer is residual compression at the surface. Because of this residual compression, the fatigue life or fatigue strength of component is increasing. Now the next question on fatigue loading is, this question was asked in GATE 1992. Very simple question again. Fatigue strength of a rod subjected to cyclic axial force is less than that of rotating beam of the same dimension subjected to the steady lateral force. Now this statement is true or false? This statement is true or false? Now my dear students, this statement is true, because for axial load, the fatigue strength for axial load we have considered as 0.8 times fatigue strength for bending load, that is lateral forces. This relation we have considered. Now again, let us say there is a steady lateral force. Due to steady lateral force, fluctuating force means it is a bending moment. Due to steady lateral forces, there is a bending moment in the beam. Means the component is subjected to bending moment. And let us say if this beam is subjected to bending moment, then we have to use bending equation. Bending equation is sigma b is equal to m by I into y. Means sigma b is directly proportional to y. And this bending stress distribution we have seen many times. Let us say upward distance is y, downward distance is y. Therefore, from this neutral axis, as I go outside, the bending stress goes on increasing. As I go downside, the bending stress goes on increasing. Means on extreme fibers, there is a maximum bending stress. There is a maximum bending stress. And let us consider there is a discontinuity near neutral axis. Let us say this is a discontinuity near neutral axis. Means the discontinuity is present at the location where stress is minimum. Therefore, there will be no such harm effect if discontinuity is present near neutral axis for bending loads, because at this location stress is already less. But if component is subjected to axial loads, for axial loads, let us say these are the axial loads. Right? For these axial loads, stress is equal to force divided by area, which is constant at each and every section. This force divided by area, this stress is constant at each and every location. Therefore, stress distribution is constant line. Means at each and every location, the stress is maximum. You can see here, at each and every location, stress is maximum. That means the discontinuity present at any location is harmful. The discontinuity present at any location is harmful because at each and every location stress is maximum. Hence for axial loading strength is decreasing. The strength of component is decreasing. Therefore this statement is true. The statement is fatigue strength of rod subjected to cyclic axial force is less than that of rotating beam of the same dimension subjected to steady lateral load. Yes, this statement is 100% correct. Next question was asked in GATE 1993. Now the question is, the yield strength of a steel shaft is twice its endurance limit. Means yield strength SYT is given 2 times endurance strength. Right, this is the given data. Which of the following torque fluctuations represent the most critical situation according to Soderberg criteria? Now, the Soderberg criteria is sigma A divided by SE plus sigma M divided by SYT is equal to 1 upon factor of 50. My dear students, for any fluctuating load, remember one note, for any fluctuating load, the component which is having sigma A maximum is more critical. The sigma A stress amplitude will define the criticality of component. If sigma A goes on increasing, then component criticality of component goes on increasing. That means strength of component goes on decreasing. Strength of component goes on decreasing. Therefore, for fluctuating loads, always we have to check sigma A. Right. Now here, most critical situation will be this situation for which sigma A is maximum. Now let us check option A. Stress amplitude is nothing but maximum stress minus minimum stress. Stress amplitude is maximum stress minus minimum stress divided by 2. Now for torque, therefore option A for torque amplitude is equal to maximum torque minus minimum torque divided by 2, which is nothing but T. This is the stress and torque amplitude. Now for B case, torque amplitude is equal to maximum torque is plus T minus minimum torque is minus T by 2 divided by 2. This becomes equal to, if I solve this will become, let us say this will become T plus 0.5 T divided by 2, which is less than T. Therefore 1.5 T by 2, which is less than previous case. If I see option C, the torque amplitude is equal to maximum torque is T minus minimum torque is 0 divided by 2, that is T by 2. And if I check option D, then torque amplitude is equal to maximum torque is T minus minimum torque is T by 2 divided by 2, which is nothing but 0.5 T by 2. Means the maximum torque amplitude is for option A. Therefore, option A is critical. Option A is critical. Thank you, dear students. In next lecture, we will start new topic of machine design, which is nothing but joint design, that is bolted, riveted and welded joints. And this topic is also very much important as per GATE exam point of view.